adventures of Dad and Emma, minus Emma. I got Mom.
Hello.
So, recently we watched a movie called RRR. Was it a pirate movie?
No, there was no pirates involved, but it is called RRI, right?
RRR. RRR. And before we go on, there might be some minor spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, there might be some spoilers.
Don't watch.
No, do watch it. But be aware there might be
Watch
spoilers.
it first.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Okay, this is our review of RRR, which stands for Rise, Roar, and
Revel.
Roar. Okay, so RRR is a very beautiful story of a friendship. First, the movie is Hindi. And so, you know, it is dubbed. If you watch on Netflix, it's dubbed and subbed.
English.
In English. Right? I didn't even put in other languages. But dubbed and subbed in English. And it is a story of two men. One is Ram Raju, and one is Actor. But that's not his real name. So that's one of your spoilers. So this movie has how would you describe this movie, babe? By the way, this is our date night, and she's actually doing this video with me on our date nights, which she's the best. How would you describe this, babe?
First off, I'd like to say shout out to Cinema Therapy because they were the ones that
turned us on to the movie.
Yeah, definitely. As they put it, I'm gonna repeat what they said. It's like The Matrix meets, I don't know. What was the?
I thought it was like
Beast Wars.
No, it was like The Matrix meet The Matrix meet
Tarzan.
Tarzan meets Indiana Jones meets Rambo. It's the most manliest man movie ever. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
And they put it in Cinema Therapy. They put this really good, what they said. All credit to them saying this to Cinema Therapy. They said it's manly enough for them to slap a tiger, but also for one of them to cuddle a child and for there to be love and everything. So that's true. I mean,
it is very
this
true.
movie has got singing in it.
It also
Good
allows
singing.
for two men to have a friendship.
Yes.
That doesn't go beyond anything else other than just being best friends.
Yeah. Now, some people might say, oh, well, it's because they couldn't do more. But they both have women that they're very in love with. And so I didn't see it that way. But they do have an instant broship that is amazing, you know. So I really liked it. This movie's got singing in it. It's got amazing dancing. Every scene is over the top, beautiful and wonderful. But like my favorite part of the movie is about in the middle when Bean actually is tortured and stands up for it and gets them to rise up. He gets the Indian people to rise up because in the end, this movie is really about revolution. You've got these people that want to, and this is true, you know, the Indian people were really subjugated. They want to rise up against British rule, you know, and that's what both Ram, Raju, which is usually called Ram, and Beam are really about in this movie, revolution. Would you say that? Yes. About freeing their people. Different avenues. Ram is an officer, and Beam is a protector of a village, and a little girl from the village is stolen, and that's why Beam goes to Delhi to try to free her. Every scene is over the top. Would you agree?
Yes.
What's your favorite scene?
My scene has got to be the cool fight scenes. I mean, the way
amazing.
The way that he jumps out of the van with all the animals and it's all in slow-mo and I also love the symbolism, fire and water, you know.
Ram is fire and Beam is water.
Yep. I think it was awesome.
I love the opening. Well, I shouldn't even say opening thing. A lot of stuff happens where you hit the real opening scene to get credit.
Yes.
A lot. But there's a point where they have an instant connection and they save a little boy and they come back together out of it. My poor wife, say a prayer first. She's got a little bit of a cough. they come out of it and they grasp hand and they introduce each other. But they've already came up with a complex plan to save this boy with no words. 0 words. Just instant broship. There's a point where, you know, they're working out together, like one of them's doing squats with the other one on his back. They're running and playing. They get a little shepherd boy mad at him who's chasing after them. They have a dance off. There's so much friendship in this. And then, you know, really got to be a point where, you know, there's a point in the movie where one of them rescues the other and he's crying and one of them puts his hand on their cheek. And there was nothing sexual about it or romantic about it. It was just a brother comforting brother going, it's okay. I love you. It doesn't matter. This movie, above all things, is about friendship and revolution. You know, they both have different points to get to where they need to be. And like true brothers, they're going to fight. Every brother fights his brother at some point. You know,
every family fights in general.
Every family fights in general. But in the end, it's the love that matters. And that's what this movie, at 3 hours and 5 minutes, every scene really is about love. Yeah. Even when they're fighting, it's about love. But I can tell you now, Ram is the biggest badass in this movie ever. When he fights an entire mob and whips their butt, it's the best thing ever. But I can say it about every scene in it. Every scene is the best thing ever. It's the most movie
and just when you think you've hit the pinnacle of the best scene ever, it takes you one step further.
Yep. And there's a point where an old man is like knocked out of a Jeep, flies up, grabs his rifle in air, turns it, fires, hit the tire, and 2 of the characters fling out like they're shot out of a cannon. You know, I mean, it's crazy. It's over top. It should never, ever be good. This movie should suck. This movie should be a laughing stock. Instead, this movie is the best movie I've ever seen. Would you say it's the best movie you've ever seen?
Agreed.
It's 3 hours long, and I've watched it 3 times.
Again, thank you, Cinema Therapy, for that.
Yeah.
Never would have found it without them.
If you haven't checked out Cinema Therapy yet, you need to go over to Cinema Therapy.
I've learned so much.
Those guys are amazing. Our reviews don't have a candle to them. But overall, I'm going to give RRR a 12 out of 10. And I think it's a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. This is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. And the most beautifully shot and just wonderful. What would you give it?
Definitely a 12 out of 10.
Yep. This is just a great movie. Well, this has been the adventures of Dad and Emma, minus Emma, acting goofy
and ignoring common sense.
Word.